From Egg Harbor Township High School, the Gloucester County Educational Network presents High School Wrestling. Tonight, it's the Region 8 Finals with John Vogening. I'm John Mondelli. Vogue, after tonight, 42 wrestlers from Region 8 advanced to Atlantic City.
Yeah, and with people, when you said Egg Harbor Township, for 26 years, it was at Absegami High School. This year, the venue changed, and those wrestlers had a new opportunity to put on performance here.
Okay, well, two teams have 4 wrestlers advancing to the finals, and no coincidence, they just happen to be the top 2 teams in South Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely right. Timber Creek and Paulsboro each advanced 4 to the finals, and very good chance more than one of them can go to Atlantic City as a winner.
Now, of course, this year we don't have a wrestler going for 4 region titles, but there is one gentleman going for his 3rd region title, Charlie Huff.
Yes, Charlie Huff. It's not Charlie.
No R, I got you.
Yeah, Charlie Huff has already won 2 regional titles and is an odds-on favorite to win his 3rd tonight.
And, of course, we have a couple guys going for their 2nd, Ward, Cobb, Keller. So it should be a great night of wrestling.
Oh, outstanding wrestlers. Billy Ward, a great young lightweight from Buna, was the champion last year, so he's going for 2 in a row.
Of course, Keller from Timber Creek, Cobb from Williamson. Cobb won his 2 years ago. And, of course, then we have Demir Rappa, his 3rd chance at winning a region title.
Right, 3rd time in the finals. Maybe the 3rd time's a charm.
Let's talk about the district breakdown. District 29, only 5 wrestlers in the final, 4 of them coming from Paulsboro.
And kind of surprising because District 29 used to lead the way. This year they only have 5, and District 31 has 6, District 30 has 8, District 32, which used to be the doormat, has 32.
Should be a great night of wrestling. We'll have all the action coming up next on the Gloucester County Educational Network. And welcome to Egg Harbor Township High School. I'm stumbling, Vogue, because you fooled me. You told me we were up about 15 seconds ago, and I did a nice little intro. Anyway, 112 pounds. What do we got, Vogue?
We got the number 1 seeded wrestler in this weight class, who is Ricky Carter, who's at Timber Creek this year, was at Washington Township last year when he placed in the state, and the number 2 seed from Delsea Regional, John Henley.
And Henley with a quick takedown, Vogue.
And he's a sophomore, and Carter's a junior.
2-0 lead, Henley. 30-1 this year. His only loss was to a wrestler from Brearley, and I imagine that had to be in the Group 2 state semifinals. Nice season by Delsea.
Got to the state semifinals before losing to Brearley and got eliminated at that point because in the semifinals, the winner goes on to the state finals, and the team that doesn't win, as you see the reversal, goes home.
We're tied at 2. Ricky Carter, Vogue, only wrestling 11 matches because he transferred from Washington Township, so had to sit 30 days. He's 8-3. We saw one of those losses to Chad Walsh of Camden Catholic. Only a junior. Lost in the finals last year in this tournament.
And I understand earlier today, while we're here in Region 8 at Egg Harbor Township, Chad Walsh won the Region 7 championship.
Well, I know he won the semis. Did he end up beating Deutsch? I know he won in the semis over Devoy, I was told.
Oh, that's it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was the semifinal over Devoy.
And that's what we were told.
Yes.
Carter last year lost in the final. Billy Ward of Buna pinned him in the 2nd period, so his 2nd shot. Henley last year finished 3rd in the regions.
Carter got to this point by beating Ron Ray Harris of Middle Township 2-1 in a tiebreaker. Then he won his semifinal 4-2 over a very impressive John Van Brill of Clearview Regional, the freshman, who's got a bright future, to put Carter up against Henley. Henley had a much easier time getting there, 11-4 over Steve Passerell of Washington Township, and 3-1 over the number 3 seed, John Dickinson of Lower Cape May.
Both of these wrestlers placing in the state of New Jersey last year, 6th and 7th respectively. Carter finishing 6th.
And in the consolation bout, Van Brill beat Dickinson 5-3 to earn a trip to Atlantic City.
There's Greg Sawyer on the right. Is that DeJoseph on the left?
Yes, Angelo DeJoseph, who played a very big role in the seating meeting, by the way. He and Nicky Marina and Steve Anashevsky are right on top of all the facts and figures.
And the lights are starting to come back slowly but surely, Voj.
Yes.
Looks like we're going to go into the second period tied at 2.
I'd like to offer thanks to all the people that made this possible. Mike Pellegrino, the athletic director at Egg Harbor Township, and very visible during this week. The site supervisor, Shane Chisholm. Joe Dilks, an assistant site manager, and Egg Harbor Township coach, longtime coach, Mike Chiazza. They have been everywhere doing everything. As we mentioned, going on 26 years at Absegami before these championships here this week.
3-2 lead quarter. Just underway in period number 2.
Carter won that quarterfinal bout 2-1 in a tiebreaker over Ron Ray Harris. It looked a little sluggish and looked a little slow. He's picked it up during the course of the tournament.
And in a tight match you talked about earlier in the semifinals today against Van Brill, when a couple more seconds looked like Van Brill would have had him turned.
Van Brill was coming out and had a good pinning combination in there. Simply ran out of time, ran out of space.
Roberts and Reynolds, the officials.
Ron Roberts, of course, a former wrestler at Buna Regional High School. Again, Carter spinning behind. He's got quick reactions out there. And of course, we're going to see John Henley's brother later on. There's a takedown where Carter was inbounds and had control as Henley was out of bounds, and that's a takedown.
5-2 lead, Carter. Carter's favorite subject, Voj, history. You're a big history buff.
Glad to hear somebody else likes history besides me. Carter, the district champion in District 30, and Henley, the district champion in District 31. And of course, as you had mentioned earlier, the second appearance by Carter in the regional finals.
These two met last year, Voj, in the semis, and Carter beat Henley 8-0 to earn that trip to the final. And we go to period number 3, 5-2 lead, Ricky Carter of Timber Creek. Last year winning that title, or getting to the final, I should say, as a member of Washington Township High School. And there's the corner. It's Nick Catone and Paul Ballbarger of Timber Creek. Number 1 team in South Jersey, Voj, and they have pretty good guys coming back.
And the number 1 team in Region 8. They, prior to the seeding meeting, the coaches from the 4 districts were there, and those coaches plus the regional president, vice president, and the seating chairman all cast their votes, and Timber Creek come out ahead of Paulsboro.
You know, we give the wrestlers these information sheets to fill out, and some fill it out a little more than others. Carter wrote down his funniest moment in high school when his friend Dave fell down the stairs. I'm sure it wasn't fun for Dave. Third period action. Start standing. Carter looks really sharp, Coach.
He does. He's picked it up bout by bout here in this tournament. We mentioned Timber Creek being number 1 in that vote. Paulsboro being number 2. Pennsville ended up 3, Delsey 4, Buna 5, West Deptford 6, Absegami 7, Hamilton 8, Washington Township 9, and St. Augustine 10. All done by ballot.
Couple brothers to Henley Brothers Wrestling tonight in the final vote.
Yes. We will see the other Henley at 130 pounds against Charlie Huff of Washington Township, who's going for a 3rd regional title. So Henley will have his work cut out.
Just under a minute, Vogue.
As with any tournament, there's been blood timeouts and injury timeouts, and 3 trainers have really done a great job of servicing all the wrestlers. Hugh Lee, the head athletic trainer at Egg Harbor Township High School, Kevin Briles, the head athletic trainer at Delsea Regional, and Drew Bergman, the head athletic trainer at Absegami. Great job by the trainers.
Going to have an injury timeout for Carter. Henley got the first 2 points with the takedown, and then I think he was reversed, tied at 2, and then it's been Carter ever since.
And of course, as we go along here and have different champions, we're going to tell you who the last regional champion was for that school and how many they now have. And of course, one important streak on the line tonight. And I'm sure you...
it's times in a wrestling match you can not mention the word Paulsboro. I don't think it actually, that might not. That's Paulsboro streak, right, folks? What, 1970 what? Last time they did not have a region champ.
That string started back in 1971, I believe.
And we talk about Carter in the 11 matches, and of course this second match was Camden Catholic. And when you get into it late, and that's those matches are a little tougher to get up for him. I mean, and Walsh is a good wrestler, but
well, and Carter was back just a few days,
right.
Actually.
One match in, I think he
had.
Yeah,
in competition. I know he was in the practice room, but big difference going out there in the line of fire.
Final 15 seconds.
And Carter was where in the state last year? Sixth in the state.
And Henley was 7th.
Well, they're both going to the state, and they could meet again along the trail.
Final score 5-2, Ricky Carter.
By way of a decision score 5-2. And now up on the center circle.
And of course, Ricky Carter, as a member of the Timber Creek team now, becomes the 4th regional titleist for Timber Creek, following Paul Schlipp in 2004, Schliep, Dan Stanley in 2005, and Brandon Keller, who we'll see later, last year.
I'm looking forward to seeing Keller votes, because I think in that Camden Catholic match, I don't think we saw him long, did we?
No. No, he made quick work that night.
119, Billy Ward of Buna, Jim Petty of Absegami. Ward, the number 1 seed. Won last year at 103 pounds.
Billy Ward's father, of course, a very good wrestler, and Billy Ward following suit, 33-2 this year. He got this far with a 452 fall over Dennis Conway, the number 8 seed. Then he followed that up with an 8-0 win over Grant Kirchner, who unfortunately got hurt in his consolation final and had to injury default.
Well, a couple wrestlers today, Vogue, that were injured and could not return. Curl was the same thing, right? Nick Curl, Paulsboro.
Yeah. Actually, it was the consolation semifinal.
Right. Well, I did say today.
Yeah, lost to Richardson by injury default. But anyway, Ward is here in the finals, and GM Petty, the number 2 seed, started out with a 37-second fall over Robert Mitchell of Winslow Township, a 142 fall over Stuart Richardson of Shalley, and then a 4-2 overtime win over Giovanni Arroyo of Oakcrest. And Arroyo battled back to claim 3rd place with a 248 fall over Richardson during a trip to Atlantic City. Early takedown, or I should say a late takedown.
Yeah, 10 seconds left in the period. Nothing lead, GM Petty.
GM Petty's been impressive the last 3 days. GM Petty 27-7 this year for Absegami, operating under a new head coach.
I'm sorry, Ward with the 2. Anyway, Coach, I got that mistake.
Yeah.
Ward has the 2.
Longtime coach Gene Barber retired after last season. Sean Scannell, who wrestled for Gene Barber, is now the head coach.
And the answer to a trivia question.
The only wrestler to defeat
Damian Hahn.
Damian Hahn, a 3-time state champion.
Only one to beat him in the state final. I think Hahn had 3 losses his freshman year. 4-0 now, by the way. Ward with the reversal. Ward 2 losses this year. Chad Walsh and Kyle Castellano. Walsh beat him last year, actually, in the state tournament also, Coach.
Yes.
Kyle Castellano last year was the state runner-up at 112 pounds at a Southern Regional High School. So it's a couple quality losses. Ward also plays football. Two more.
Doug Castellari,
7-0.
the coach in the corner for Buna, was a regional champion in 1979. And Billy Ward's father competed in the regionals but never won an individual title. His son won his first one last year at 103 pounds. He's oozing with confidence out there.
65 wins so far in his brief 2-year career.
Tom Reynolds, the referee in charge on the mat. Al Maloney, the assistant. Ward was first in District 32, and as you mentioned, GM Petty second in District 32. So this is one of 3 district finals rematches that we'll see this evening. Another one will take place at 135 pounds, and the final one will take place at 285.
Looks like Ward's going to take that 7-0 lead into the 3rd period. How about Cumberland High School, Vogue? A couple guys in the final. When you talk high school wrestling, you usually don't talk about Cumberland.
No. No, Carmine Davis doing a good job there. And Cumberland High School has had some regional champions in the past. In fact, there's George Chu, who was inducted in the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame a few years ago.
He was a state champ.
He was a state champ, and he also was 2-time regional champ in 1985, 1987. Duke DeJoseph was a regional champion. and Angelo DeJoseph, brothers.
We got one on the Braves and one on the Chiefs out there. The Buna Chiefs and the Amsterdam Braves vote.
Fresh off the reservation.
9-2 now. We had a reversal. The Ward up 9-2.
Build a big early lead like that. It's tough to cut that deficit down.
And you know why?
Well, you
They're
can
not guppies.
yeah, no
There's sharks
guppies
out there. It's going to be
this
hard.
far. That's right. And of course, you can get a little bit defensive on the bottom now. You got a 9-2 lead.
Ward's going to get 2 on the reversal. 11-2.
And in that district final, District 32, Ward only won 4-0. So 11 points in this match.
Well, we saw that in one of the
Yes, we did.
consolation matches today, where I think a couple wrestlers wrestled yesterday, which would be Friday, and it was a 3-1 match, and then ended up like 10-9 or 9-8 in overtime today.
Yep.
Start to learn patterns, I guess.
Well, and you learn moves, you learn what the wrestler's strengths and weaknesses are, and you take advantage of it, especially the weaknesses.
And the final is going to be 11-2. Billy Ward of Buna wins his second straight title.
Very methodical effort.
As we get ready for the awards presentation at 112 pounds. Throwing me off, ending at 103 votes. And I know they've been doing this for a while, but throwing me off a little bit.
And I was at the table when they drew that weight too. Usually you draw it away in. Somebody forgot to do it away in, so they had to do it at the table out here during the tournament. Ward, the number 1 seed, beats GM Petty, the number 2 seed, 11-2.
Okay, we have the awards presentation votes. Why don't you take care of that for us? And of course, this award presentation, it's 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. They show all 4 that we see for John Van Brill, Clearview, finishing in 3rd.
Van Brill, as you mentioned, 2nd place. John Henley of Delsey, and the champion, Ricky Carter of Timber Creek. So those going to Atlantic City for the state championships will see Carter, Henley, and Van Brill competing in Boardwalk Hall. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament.
125 from Timber Creek, Brandon Keller. From St. Augustine Prep, Joe Esposito.
Joe Esposito last year, a runner-up, Vogue, at 119. Keller winning last year at 112.
Going for his 2nd championship.
And the little we saw of Keller this year, a very exciting wrestler.
Yes, he is. We saw him at Camden Catholic, and he did not disappoint. Keller, the number 1 seed, had a 134 fall over Eric Kanatowicz of Cedar Creek. That's a brand new high school this year. And Keller won his 2nd match over Gabriel Cineras of Lindenwold, 9-2. Esposito got to this point, the number 3 seed, with a 19-4, 521 technical fall over Tyler Green of Woodstown. Then he had an 11-3 win over William Elliott of Cumberland, and a 3-2 ultimate tiebreaker win over Coley O'Brien of Ocean City.
Oh, Brian was in some tough matches today,
Oh, was he ever?
or in this tournament, I should
In
say.
this tournament, sure, the whole tournament. Fact is, he went overtime with Dante Scott of Paulsboro in the quarterfinals. And then ironically, the battle for third place, number 7 seed Dante Scott beat the number 2 seed Coley O'Brien 3-1.
Keller with only 3 losses this year. One was to Gallagher. I believe he's from Eustis, Voj.
Yes,
Casaletto from Southern.
right.
And then one other one I can't make out, but they were in the Virginia duels, so it might have been up there.
I'm sure.
67 wins so far, just a sophomore. 7th in the state last year.
And Esposito's lone loss this year?
Let me pull that out, Voj. I got like 9,000 sheets here, Voj. Esposito has a couple losses this year. To, guess who, Voj? Casaletto of Southern. He's beating everybody down here.
Oh, boy.
Chris Dinnan from Germantown Academy.
Oh, my.
There's 2.
Yep.
So Keller gets 2 and has a 2-0 lead.
You see
Joe Melchiori on the left.
Yep, Joey Melchiori, one of the greatest wrestlers to come out of South Jersey, 125-3 dual meet record.
St. Augustine coaching staff right there. St. Augustine trails in this match 2-0. Esposito taken down late.
3-time state champion for Highland was Joey Melchiori.
By the way, Coley O'Brien also beat Esposito. I guess it's probably in the district final. And he also lost to Matos of Atlantic City, talking about his losses.
Yeah.
So some quality wrestlers.
And once again, at this time, the top 4 finishers at 119 pounds, please make your way with your pitches to the awards area at this time. Thank you.
4-0 lead now for Keller.
And of course, Brandon Keller, coached by Nick Catone. Ironically, Joey Melchiori wrestled for Highland Regional High School, and so did Nick Catone.
Of course, also in that corner, Dave Ritz, who was a state runner-up and a former region champ.
Yep. Keller, the champion in District 30. Esposito, second place in District 32. Timber Creek already with 1 champion tonight, Ricky Carter. Al Maloney, the official in charge on the mat. Williams, the assistant official.
Look how quick Keller is, though.
Very quick.
Esposito trying to grab onto that head,
Oh,
but if
my.
Keller can pop his head out,
Oh my,
he's going to get a takedown and maybe have Esposito's back exposed.
there it is. All he's got to do is, like you say, pop the head. Esposito doing a great job fighting it off. That's why there's not 2 yet. Never full control.
And we'll go into the third period, a 4-0 lead for Keller. Start off neutral here, third period. Seeing more and more of this, Voj.
We are. Of course, the strangest one we saw today was the Deptford wrestler in a 4-4 tie, and 20 seconds ago in the regulation, and chose to let his man start neutral.
Right, off the whistle. So he
Gave him the
then he
escape.
needed, yeah, and you know what they say, Voj, you're going to let him up.
You got to take him down. Of course, the question was asked why, and I think Coach Joe Hollywood said, well, he felt more comfortable on his feet than he did on top, and there were only 20 seconds to go. That's a dangerous situation. Stalemate called. course, a little bit of bragging rights at stake tonight with Paulsboro and Timber Creek each having 4 in the finals. Buy your 50-50 tickets for the finals?
No, I did not see anybody come by. I'm sure they were in the bleachers.
Well, my wife's in the bleachers, so I know we have 50-50 tickets.
42 and a half seconds left.
£125 final. Time running out for Esposito of St. Augustine. Another stalemate.
Joe Melchiori votes best wrestler in South Jersey history. Yes or no?
I'd say he ranks right up there. Yeah, 125-3.
99 wins in a row.
Yep. Jerry Vallejo, a great wrestler.
Oh, we got a takedown and some back points at the end.
Oh my.
So it should end up 8-0.
How about that?
Final score 8-0. Keller with his second consecutive region title. So it's a sophomore, coach.
Wow.
He's on pace. Still ways to go, but
Rare territory to get to win 4 regional titles, but he's halfway there. The medalists are coming up at 119 pounds. Third place at 119 pounds would be Giovanni Aurelio of Oakcrest. Oakcrest was making some noise in the tournament along with Cumberland.
Finishing in third place, a senior from Oakcrest, Giovanni Arroyo.
Second place went to Mike Giampetti of Absegami High School.
Junior from Absegami, Mike.
And the champion, second year in a row from Uniregional, Billy Ward, a sophomore.
so there you go, Butch. Last 2 weight classes. 2 wrestlers that have won region titles their first 2 years.
Yep.
Coach, we get ready for 130 pounds. Matt Henley of Delsey, Charlie Huff of Washington Township. Henley's our only wrestler here with a chance to go through regions unbeaten, which is kind of rare.
Very rare.
I mean, not as rare as it used to be, but still, you usually see 1 or 2 get through regions. This is the only wrestler who has a shot to get through regions unbeaten. Henley is 28-0 out of Delsey. Huff going for his 3rd region title. We talked about him in the opening. Has 128 career wins. 29-1 this year.
Quite a force on the football field this year too.
Absolutely.
For his size.
I believe he's a running back.
Yes. Huff was first in District 30. Henley first in District 31. As you mentioned, Huff going for his 3rd consecutive Region 8 title.
Fifth in the state last year was Huff. Takedown, 2-0 Huff.
Mike Williams, the official in charge on the mat. Escape makes it 2-1. Ron Roberts, the assistant in this bout. Charlie Huff come in as the number 1 seed, won 11-6 over Joshua Giuliano of West Thetford. Then he won 10-2 over Julio Matos Nunez of Atlantic City. Henley getting this far, as you mentioned, an undefeated wrestler, winning 6-2 over John Ekert of Pennsville and 6-5 over the number 3 seed, Dom Ruggiero of Timber Creek. So the number 1, number 2 seeds squaring off here.
Huff trying to defend his 130-pound title. It's a little talking to from Mike Williams. Both of these wrestlers last year wrestling at 130. Huff beat Demir Rappa 3-2 in the final. Henley finishing 4th, losing that consolation match to Kevin Birmingham, who we'll see coming up, I believe, next for Timber Creek.
Reminder, all cafeteria food is now half price. Go grab some food if you're hungry. Cafeteria is loaded with half price food.
They need something at the squares table,
Right.
Coach. What is it?
And you, as St. Augustine profiles, you need to look at the Gatnell when he comes up, right?
Right. And Schroeder.
And Schroeder.
We're tied at 2 here, minute 36 left, second period.
Of course, Washington Township with a new coach this year.
Ron Eppolite, he's in the corner with
Mark Ring, I believe.
Mark
yes.
Ring, yeah.
There's a takedown right on the out-of-bounds line.
Yeah. 4-2.
You know, that's why when wrestlers are going towards that out-of-bounds line, they still have to keep battling, because if the other wrestler has control of you going out of bounds, even if he drags you out of bounds, he's going to get the 2 points. Ron Ippolite wrestled at Highland Regional High School, was quite a heavyweight there for Ralph Ross Sr., who, by the way, this year was passed as the number 1 all-time wins leader in the state of New Jersey by Stan Woods of Emerson. Washington Township has had 32 regional championships over the years.
4-3 lead. Huff going in on the takedown again. They go out. We'll go back to the center. 31 seconds left, second period. 4-3 lead, Charlie Huff.
And of course, as you mentioned earlier, before there you see the Washington Township corner. Mark Ring closest to us. Ron Ippolite furthest. And then
I want to update Huff's record, by the way. It should be 29-1. I know we have it up at 20. And Henley is 28-0. We go to the third, 4-3, tight match.
Charlie Huff takes the down position. You see the Delsey corner.
Sawyer into Joseph.
Sawyer quite a wrestler for Steve Isles.
State runner-up. Though I still remember that courageous state final against Lopez, I believe it was.
He could barely walk. A lot of courage.
Of course, I could be wrong. I can't remember who the match was against. I believe it was a Township wrestler. There's the escape, 5-3 lead Huff. Huff in on that leg again.
Oh my.
You got it.
Oh my.
Another takedown, 7-3.
That's what I'm saying. On the out-of-bounds line, you, as a wrestler, you can't give up those points like that. The guy's in on your legs. You got to throw that overhook in. You got to try and counter that move. Because even if you drag him out of bounds, if he has control going out of bounds, you're going to get the 2 points.
And there's the escape now 7-4. Huff's obviously confident on his feet though. Looks like he caught Henley. Here's that takedown, Vogt, on the line.
Right here. He's got the leg. Grabs the control with the other leg. Even though he's 3/4 of the way out, his toes are in bounds and he has control of the legs. That equals a takedown.
You would have been a good official in your day, Vogt.
I was. Another spin behind. Got to get him to the mat. There's a takedown.
9-4.
Now you notice when you spin behind like that, until you take him to the mat, there's no takedown. It looks like you have control because you're behind the guy. Huff choosing the freestyle start, giving his opponent the escape. Now with a 9-5 lead, he knows he doesn't have to do anything outlandish. Puts the pressure on. When you get to this point with 20 seconds and it's winding down, you got that taste in your mouth that you're going to be among the elite. Stalling
Oh, look at that, right to his back.
Oh my.
Enough time.
Oh my.
First pin of the night.
Oh, brother. 5:55. Oh, my. Charlie Huff becomes a 3-time regional champion. And he becomes the 42nd wrestler in South Jersey history to accomplish that feat.
Watch this, Vogt. Lightning quick on this move.
Yes, he just got called for a stall, and Chelsea Russell comes in. He's got his arms out, and he just gets underhook, lateral drop, put on his back, and good night, Charlie. Oh, my. Medalist at 125 pounds.
Finishing in third place, a senior from Paulsboro, Dante Scott.
Dante Scott battled back to place third and earn a trip to Atlantic City.
Runner-up is a junior
Second place at 125 pounds.
Esposito.
Joe Esposito of St. Augustine. And the champion, again, Brandon Keller of Timber Creek, a sophomore.
May have been the toughest weight class at this region this year, Vogt. I mean, if you looked at like...
Without doubt. Without doubt. If not the toughest, one of the toughest.
We go to 135 pounds. It's Christian Solera of Washington Township, Kevin Birmingham of Timber Creek. Solera 29-4, Birmingham 33-4. One of Solera's losses is to Birmingham. He's got one to Scotton, who was a state runner-up, Keller, who was a state place winner last year. So
pretty impressive.
I don't know if it was Keller, because it says Keller, obviously a different Keller.
But pretty impressive. And this is Christian Matthew Solera, and how did he get introduced?
Has a higher GPA
than his seeding?
Yeah.
Or higher class standing. Yeah, so he seeded fourth, so he must be first, second, or third in the class. Yeah. Solera got to this point with a 303 fall against Eric Landis of Mainland. Then he won 7-5 over Dan Cornu of Clearview and finished up with a 7-4 win over the number 1 seed, Dylan Berghoff of Buna Regional. Kevin Birmingham, the number 3 seed, had a 242 fall against Nick Knauer of Paulsboro and an 11-6 win over Kurt Delia of Delsey.
And we'll have a stalemate.
So number 4, Solera against number 3, Birmingham. In the consolation final, Delia won over Berghoff to notch his 101st win and earn a trip to Atlantic City.
Solera wrestled 125 last year. Talked about Birmingham. He lost to Charlie Huff, I should say, in the semifinals last year and wrestled back for third.
No score after a period. Washington Township's very first regional champion was Neil McDonald back in 1966. And then a two-time regional champion, a heavyweight by the name of Frank Weinkoop. Old-timers will remember that. And they've had 32, now 33 regional champions. That rings a bell with you, doesn't it, Frank Weinkoop?
What is old-timers, by the way? What year?
That was 1967. Where were you in 67?
St. Michael's Grammar School, Gibbstown. 67, I don't know. I was born in 59. What's that make me? 8? What grade are you in when you're 8 years old? I don't even know.
4th grade.
I might have been repeating 1st grade for the third time. I don't know. So takedown for Birmingham and a 2-0 lead.
Sam Muni also
Or reversal, sorry, Village, reversal.
Yep, Sam Muni also a regional champion for Washington Township. Sam Muni's wanted to pursue an acting career and used to wear a mask out in the mats.
Speaking of acting career, Village, that's what happened to Alex Schaefer, the 119-pound state champion last year out of Hunterdon Central, pursuing an acting career, will not be wrestling. So he beat Deutsch, I think, in the state semifinals last year. So one less wrestler we have to worry about up north if you're a wrestler in that weight class. There you see the lead, Birmingham 2-0.
Well, the Timber Creek wrestlers are pretty astute on the mat and really ride very well.
We're going to go back to the center. Talked about Solera being very intelligent. His favorite subject, this kind of sums it up, physics.
Wow.
You were pretty good in physics in your day, weren't you, Bosch?
I was terrible. Math and the sciences kind of gave me headaches.
And you were an English teacher.
Well, that's not
Right.
math and science.
Correct.
Over to Glasper State for social studies major, English minor. There you see the...
Joe Hoops and Hippolyte.
Yep.
Hoops used to do some coaching over at GCIT in his day, Boach.
There you go. Goes through 2 periods with a 2-0 lead.
We had a chance to interview Birmingham, if you remember, Boach, after the Camden
Yes.
Catholic match, and had high expectations for his team in the state group playoffs, and they did very well. There's Ritz and Catone again.
And of course, everybody knows by now, if they follow wrestling, that Timber Creek marched all the way to the state semifinal and battled their opponent to a dead tie that had to be decided on criteria H.
What was that, most first points scored
Most
or
first
something?
points scored throughout, and I think it was like 13-12. Oh my.
Just going to say escape 2-1, but now it's 4-1 in favor of Birmingham.
So he just followed that right around.
By the way, if it matters, Village, Kevin Birmingham's favorite subject, cooking.
I can believe that. Nowadays, that's not a bad idea. Mark Voge prepares all his own food. escape called by Ron Roberts.
Now
They
4-2.
separated. So in the third period, with a little over a minute to go, and it's a 4-2 score. Tom Reynolds, the assistant in this match, on the mat. Solera gets in on the legs. Birmingham reaches through, rolls through again. Trying to put himself in a position to come up on top, and he does.
6-2 lead.
How about that for a move? A couple great roll throughs.
I saw you showing some of the Egg Harbor kids earlier, those moves. We have a little, looks like blood timeout. Or injury timeout. I don't know if it's blood. Let's talk about Timber Creek while we have a chance, Vogue. We had a chance to see them against Camden Catholic. The thing that impressed me when you looked at their roster top to bottom was the balance. Not really weak anywhere. Matter of fact, at 103, they were strong. The kid was wrestling pretty well, and
when Carter joined the lineup, he moved down to 112. That's where he came in.
Right.
And there were two wrestlers there, and one of them dropped to 103, which is where Gwen was, and he wrestled in this tournament, so he ended up winning that spot at 103.
Sort of nice problems to have if you're a coach, huh?
Oh yeah, to have depth like that. I mean, you know, you got backups that can step into the starting lineup. You know, and Birmingham mentioned all the goals for the team this year, and they virtually got them all. They won the Olympic Conference National Division.
There's a late reversal. It'll be 6-4, but not enough time for Solera, so Birmingham will pick up a 6-4 win. And his first title.
And the second one for Timber Creek tonight.
A winner by decision, the score 6-4.
And that's the second for Birmingham?
First
for Birmingham.
For the top four finishers at 130.
130 pounds. Medalists now being honored. Third place at 130 pounds from Timber Creek. Dom Ruggiero, who won over Bachman of Deptford. Second place was Matt Hennelly, who got his first loss of the year. He was second, and the winner for the third time in Region 8, Charlie Huff.
The runner-up is a senior from Delsey Regional, Matt
A
Hennelly.
5:55 fall, the only fall in the finals so far.
Okay, we get ready for 140 pounds. Bryce Shade of Timber Creek and Antonio Mancella of Oakcrest. And we know, Vogue, we talked about 5 #1 seeds got beat in the semifinals. And Shade was one of the wrestlers to knock off a #1 seed, Drew Spector of West Ep.
You're absolutely correct. Shade started out with a 4:57 fall over Rick Ziglio of Delsey. Oh my, he's right off the bat. He gets a takedown. Then he beat Drew Spector, the #1 seed, 8-3.
Shade's obviously confident he's going to let him go right there at 2-1. Oh! Wow, 2 takedowns in 19 seconds.
Antonio Marcella from Oakcrest had a 10-1 win over Richard Morris of Cumberland, a 10-5 win over Joe Devone of St. Augustine, and a 9-5 win over Colin Newsom of Pennsville. Newsom battled back to take third place at this weight class during a trip to Atlantic City.
4-2 lead for Shade. Of course, in the day that the Gloucester Township area, which is where Timber Creek is, used to be a big wrestling area. I mean, Highland used to be a perennial power in the 80s, right, Bud?
Yes, they were. And, you know, and prior to them, Triton had some very good wrestling teams.
As a matter of fact, wasn't Ralph Ross, was it Triton? What was the name of Triton Red?
He was a Triton
Blue?
Red. And
Is that where he started?
Yes, because Triton had double sessions. So half the school was Triton Blue, the other half was Triton Red. Highland started when the schools split. And Triton went back to being Triton again, and Triton Red became Highland.
Another takedown for Shade at 6-2.
Shade, the number 5 seed. His brother Robert was a number 1 seed at 152 pounds and ended up coming in 4th in his weight class. Robert, I think, was known as Blaze.
You know, I can look at those old sheets. I do have them. Did have a nickname, though. You are right. But I had like 9,000 sheets of paper, though. We'll see.
A 2-second escape.
Now 7-2 lead for Shade.
Look at this. In on the leg. Get your man spinning around. Keep control. And don't run out of room.
Another takedown, 9-2. Drew Musley, remember him? His days at Ocean City.
Oh,
Him and
yes.
Pat Lynch were a 1-2 punch.
Yes.
The head coach for Oakcrest. Matter of fact, came over to the table, asked if he could get a copy to run down in their area, and said he appreciates us coming out and publicizing the sport. That's what you like to hear. People are out here promoting the sport of wrestling. We have injury time.
Injury timeout. And as we mentioned earlier, Q Lee, the head athletic trainer at Vague Harbor Township High School, Kevin Briles, the head athletic trainer of Delsey Regional High School, and Drew Bergman, the head athletic trainer at Absegami High School, are those trainers who are so valuable in a tournament like this. Years ago, when you had tournaments like this, you were lucky to have one trainer there or your own, personal manager with a medical kit. Nowadays, of course, with bleeding being such a more high priority cleanup than ever before, you need really respected and talented people out there as trainers.
What's the bloodiest match you ever saw? Remember the Mia Hayward matches.
Yes. More than a few specks of blood flying there.
Oh, yeah. (9-2) lead. It's been all Shade. He's only a sophomore. We talked to, and that's the other thing about Timber Creek. They're young. Camden Catholic, very young.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in South Jersey is as
young as Camden Catholic.
young
no.
as Camden Catholic. I think they had 2 seniors in the lineup. And I know no one, especially among District 29 teams, is going to feel sorry for Paulsboro, but from 152 through 285, they have one
guy.
underclassman, and that's Eric McMullen, who we'll see later in the program. There's not much depth in their lineup right now. We'll see what the future brings. Of course, they showed Paul Marina earlier as the Region 8 Coach of the Year. Quite a few milestones this year. The program itself went over 1,000 wins. The team won another South Jersey and State Group 1 title.
Did they go over
District
1,000?
29 title.
They went over 1,000 this year? Is that when they did it?
Yes.
This year? Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. Sarcasm, Vogue.
I know. After all these years of working with you, I'm starting to understand you.
But I'll tell you what, you put that in perspective. How many losses? 70 some? I mean, how many in the team's history? That's
77.
That's the amazing number there. When you think over 1,000 wins and haven't even lost 100 matches.
Right.
20 seconds left, second period, and this has been all Bryce Shade. He's up 9-3. Looking up at the clock, I think. Somewhere he was looking, Vogue.
Kind of like back off, but what do I do next? In complete control.
Mansell's going to start neutral. Gets a takedown, Vogue. He can get right back into this match.
And taking Shade down is going to be a tall order. And of course, Shade has to keep mixing it up.
Just talked about Mansell trying to get a takedown. He went in for the shot.
Yes, he did. Almost have a stalemate situation there.
And we do.
There's the call. But stalemate's a good call because you don't want to penalize either wrestler. As you see Shade trying to get another takedown. And if there's no progress with both wrestlers on the mat, you call a stalemate, stand up, start again.
11-3 lead for Shade. So Timber Creek putting on a nice show. They had 4 in the finals. Saw Keller win, Birmingham won.
And Shade 44 seconds from winning with 11-4 lead. Pretty impressive.
Another takedown. It's 13-4.
Also shows how strong he is on the mat. A lot of times when the opponent will reach back and try that back hook, he can get the wrestler off balance, but Shade just powered into him, drove him forward, got the takedown. Very methodical.
And quarter, so this would be their 4th title. They'd be 4 for 4, right?
Well, Carter won.
Right.
Keller won.
Birmingham and
won.
Shade.
So they're 4 for 4. They're a perfect 1,000 here in the finals. Pretty tough to do better than that.
5 for 5, 6 for 6.
Yeah. What was that final score?
I was just going to say, Coach, what was the final score? I think it was like 13-5, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was 13 because we had 11. We saw 11 up there. But they really whisked that off the scoreboard in a hurry up there.
Then we get ready for 145 pounds.
After I tell you the medal winners at 135.
Sure.
Third place was Kurt Daly of Delsey. He was the number 2 seed coming in, and he won his match and his 101st win by beating Berghoff of Una. Second place, the runner-up, was Christian Matthew Solera of Washington Township, and the champion, Kevin Birmingham of Timber Creek.
145 pounds, one of the best around, votes. C.J. Cobb of Williamstown, his only loss this year, coming in the semifinals at the Beast of the East to a wrestler from Virginia. Going up against Dan Pettit of Ocean City. Couple seniors, 32-1 Cobb, 30-3 Pettit.
And of course, Pettit, the the number 7 seed. So he's the lowest seeded wrestler to get into a final to this point. Pettit advanced with a 9-4 win over George Skabinski, who was a co-outstanding wrestler at District 29, and a 5-4 win over Brett Carrero of Deptford. CJ Cobb with a technical fall over Tyler Sentman of St. Augustine, 23-8 and 348, and a technical fall over Monty Crow of Pennsville, 25-10 and 526. So to say that Cobb is a scoring machine is not an understatement.
Four to 2 lead right now, and Cobb with last year. We talked about him winning a title as a sophomore. Lost last year 5-1 to Shane Robinson of Absegami.
He won as a sophomore, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think he lost to Baldessaro his freshman year. Yep, won as a sophomore, beating the Galbo of St. Augustine 4-2.
Those 4 regional championships by Timber Creek gives the school 7 regional championships now in their short.
It's 8-4. It's hard for us to keep up with the score votes because as soon as we change it, there's another point scored. So
yeah.
Cobb leads 8-4, 30 seconds left. It's hard to look down at your paperwork and
I think that when we mentioned how Cobb got here this far with all those technical falls, he's a scoring machine.
Last year finished 3rd in the state. Take a look at the Ocean City coaching staff. Dave Castellini, the head coach, and Andrew Ludwig, the assistant. And over on the Williamstown side, John Jernigan and Barry Cobb.
Obviously, probably related to CJ.
Safe to assume.
Al Maloney, the official in charge on the mat. Number 42 on the mat, number 1 in your heart.
Who's number 1 in my heart?
Maloney.
Who is he? Oh, Jackie Robinson. I thought we retired number 42. Another takedown. It's now 10-4 escape, 10-5. He's going for a 12-point first period.
Oh, my.
And he's got it, and maybe some back points. And some back points. Wow.
Wow. Switch off of one move.
We'll go into the second with a 15-5 lead.
Yep. 10-point advantage after 1 period.
Watch these moves, Voj.
Quick like a cat, in complete control, in on the legs, drives forward, has back exposure in air, so the count starts, just moves his hips forward, keeps the man down on the mat. Got his 3-point near fall very easily.
And I think all of South Jersey is hoping for a James Green, CJ Cobb final. Of course, Green is a state runner-up. Lost a heartbreaker last year at the buzzer. I don't know if you remember at the Stinson.
Yes.
Where he was leading and then lost at the end. And, of course, him and Cobb, regarded as 2 of the top wrestlers in this weight class in the state, if not the country. 15-6. A lot of thumping, huh?
Yes.
And look at that takedown.
Just a drag, pull by and swing around behind. Going to cut him loose again.
17-7.
Still a 10-point advantage. Spin
Another
behind.
Takedown. 19-7.
Lets him go.
19-8.
And you notice giving up 2 for 1, getting 2 and giving up 1.
Get to 15, sure.
Was a 10-point lead. Now it's an 11-point lead.
Caution on Ocean Cities.
And if you're good on your feet, why not?
Pettit. Or why not? Might as well try something. Kind of makes you wonder how good of a wrestler the kid from Virginia is, Voj. Blake Rulo or some, I can't even see it, but I know he's from Virginia. Cobb's only loss. And we heard about Cobb from his freshman year. Remember, he transferred in from Blair Academy?
Yes.
During his freshman year.
Now 23-10 because he got to take that and cut his man loose. Here comes 25-10. That's your tech fall.
Tech fall. That ends that one.
With 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Wow. That impressive or what?
Very impressive. Very
25-10,
impressive. For those who vote on most outstanding wrestler. Trying to go back and look through the years.
And now, wrestling fans, let's turn our attention to the awards area for the top 4 finishers.
And that's the second one for Cobb, right? Second regional
Yes,
title?
he won. And then actually, Voch, his freshman year, he lost in the semifinals to Baldessaro
Okay.
and ended up finishing 4th that year.
Here are the medal winners at 135
Or I'm sorry,
pounds.
finished 3rd that year. I take that back. So he did place all 4 years.
Actually, I want to go to 140 pounds, right?
Yes.
Runner-up is a junior
140 pounds. Newsom of Pennsville was 3rd, earned a trip to Atlantic City. 2nd place was Mansella of Oakcrest and the champion, Shade of Timber Creek.
a sophomore from Timber Creek, Bryce Shade. Congratulations to the top 4 finishers at 140.
Okay, 152 pounds.
And now your championship final.
That regional championship for Cobb, by the way, his 2nd, number 15 for the school.
Daimir Rappa and Kenny Emmons. Emmons of Pennsville, Rappa of Paulsboro.
Emmons, the district champion in District 31. Rappa, the district champion in District 29. And as you mentioned earlier, his 3rd appearance in a regional final. And quite frankly, Rappa has looked very, very strong lately. I thought he hit a little bit of a lull there in mid-season where he wasn't executing like he should. And of course he ends up with 9 losses going into this tournament.
Right. Emmons with 110 career wins, 34 on the season. Both wrestlers have lost to Bacalcas and Cobb this year. How about Rappa? He lost to Bacalcas and Cobb in the same day. I think he lost 9-1 to Bacalcas and then came back and beat him today 3-0 in just an unbelievable match for him.
Yes. It just goes to show, you know, the second time around, you learn your opponent's strengths and weaknesses if you can take advantage of it. Wrap it in on a leg, but not strong enough to pick it up and keep control of it. And Emmons, the number 4 seed, battles his way out of it. Wrap it, the number 3 seed. Emmons had an 11-5 win over top-seeded Robert Shade of Timber Creek.
Stall warning against Pennsville.
In the quarters. Won 4-3 over, won 4-3 over Shade in the semifinals. Emmons won 7-6 over James Shields of West Deptford in the quarterfinals. Rappa, a 348 fall over Cemento Roe Akins of Clayton. And then he followed it up with a 3-0 win, as you mentioned, over Phil Bacalcas, the number 2 seed.
Rappa wins the toss, takes down, trying to get those first points. Could loom big if it comes down to a tiebreaker.
Very important.
Emmons, a three-sport athlete. Heard about his time on the football field, also baseball, obviously wrestling since we're watching him now, huh?
Yes.
Member of the student council.
Very good three-sport star, and was a very good football player. He suffered an injury during the course of the season. I'm not sure if it was a knee injury, but cost him some time. Came back before the season was over. Very good passing attack.
.43 seconds into the second, no score.
This is where Rappa, if he wants to get that first point scored in the match, has to fire off the bottom. Dan Lamont, the head coach for Pennsville.
Along with Smith. Smith was an outstanding wrestler of the early 80s.
And inducted into the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame this last year.
Who, by the way, has helped us throughout the wrestling season. We thank them.
Paul Marine and Dean Duca, familiar faces in the Paulsboro corner. Emmons is out road for over a minute. And he's going to get a back count. Got that tilt. You have to move on the bottom. You let the guy wrap your arms up from the top, you're going to end up with what happened there, and that's getting tilted.
2-0 lead Emmons. You see the time. 110 career wins for Kenny Emmons. Senior year.
Means a lot, especially after playing so well in those other two sports.
Rappa trying to free himself up. He only has 10 seconds. He gets the escape.
But his work will be cut out in the third period because I'm sure Emmons will take down. And Rappa would have to either ride him, turn him, or cut him.
I think he's going to start by cutting him.
Yep. There you see Marina and Duca.
3-1. Remember, Emmons has a stall warning. Rappa tries to go right in on the shot.
My. Did not get control. But he set the tempo there. He's got to keep it up. Rappa grabs the ankles.
Now does he
grab
cut
behind.
him?
Now you got to cut him.
3-3.
You got to cut him. You got a minute and a half left in this period. Cut him. Take him down again. With 3-3. Emmons did the right thing.
He's got to watch it. Rappa spins around, gets the takedown, takes the lead, 5-4.
Very smart move. And you cut him again?
Well, to be honest with you, I do, Voj.
Me too.
Because it's, I know he held Bukakis down the entire second period of the match earlier today, but it's a lot of time to hold a guy down.
Yeah, and unless you're trying for some kind of pinning combination, you're going to be called for a parallel ride, and you're going to get hit with stalling. Mike Williams looking in on the two wrestlers.
47 seconds left. 5-4 lead, Demir Rappa.
Ron Roberts, the assistant official.
Rappa, by the way, 106 wins.
The object here is to flatten your man out, get a tight waist. Don't let him get up on his knees. But again, there's a stalling warning because you're riding parallel.
Now it gets interesting.
Yes. And it gives Emmons a fresh start on the bottom. He's up to his feet. You got to take him down to the mat or you're going to get called for a stall.
Each wrestler's been hit once with stalling with a warning. Next one's a point.
He's going to hold on to the legs.
12.2 seconds.
Well, if you ever wanted to ride somebody in a short amount of time, this is it. This is your regional championship. Got to pull the arm through. Does a smart thing by getting out to the side. Is the third time the charm.
Paulsboro's streak continues with the region champ. Third trip to the final for Demir Rappa, his first title. 5-4 win over Kenny Emmons.
Wow.
Of Pennsville.
5-4. As you mentioned, that keeps Paulsboro's number of regional championships going strong.
Should go through the place winners at 145.
145. Third place, Monty Crow of Pennsville, who was the 3-1 winner over a very impressive Dylan Dzansky. Runner-up.
We're going to take a break, Voj, come back. More action at this timeout. And back at Egg Harbor Township High School, Voj, the finals at 160 pounds. We have Adam Schroeder of St. Augustine and Robert Elliott of Cumberland.
You were asking how long that streak was for Paulsboro. Back in 1971, Tyrone Hamilton was a 98-pound regional champion. First of two for him. And Jack Suter, who went on to have an illustrious career and is an outstanding wrestler inductee into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. They were regional champions.
Oh, look out.
Have had at least one ever since. Oh, my.
This matchup, Voj, the 3 and 4 seeds. Schroeder knocking off the number 1 seed Dawson. Elliott knocking off the number 2 seed Donahue. Donahue and Dawson end up wrestling for third place, which Dawson won, which was a rematch, by the way, of District 29 final. This one is 4-2 in favor of Schroeder of St. Augustine. 32-5 this year. Matter of fact, lost to Dawson a couple times during the year and came back and beat him in that match.
Yeah, 5-4. I mean, a real nail biter, and a takedown was the thing that haunted Dawson in that match.
Of course, for Schroeder, 96 career wins, 4 from that magic 100. They get tougher now, though.
Oh, they do. And the number 3 seed, Robert Elliott, advances with a 3-0 win over DeSantis of Ocean City. And Connor Donahue, as you mentioned, a district rematch for Dawson for third place. Donahue of Clearview.
Got some back points. We might, wow.
Oh, my. Elliott's a battler.
2 back points, though. 6-2 lead Schroeder.
And he's got now Elliott's got an escape, I believe.
Yep, 6-3.
Yeah.
Schroeder also a member of the football team. Also lost to Bonner of West Deptford. Elliott's lost to Swayze of Washington Township. But we'll see, I think, at 171, Andrew Hughes, Clearview, Connor Donahue. So he avenged his loss to Donahue also.
Yes. St. Augustine with 10 regional champions in their history. And, of course, Bobby Malatesta was a big gun for him back in 1983, 84, and 85. Also an inductee in the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame. His father got wrestling started there when most of the kids used to go to Vineland. Last regional champion for St. Augustine was Jose Matos in 2007. He's now wrestling for Gannon University, a Division II school, nationally ranked. He is, and the school is.
Schroeder, the student government president and Interact president at St. Augustine. Both of these guys involved in the school outside of athletics. I mean, we just talked about Schroeder Elliott, FBLA, Young Men Can Make a Difference, Key Club, alcohol awareness.
And I think those are important things of showing you how well-rounded some of these athletes are. Not every athlete, of course, has that kind of resume.
Elliott with 85 wins.
First in District 31. Schroeder was first in District 32.
Hard to believe Absegami hosted this tournament, Coach, 20, what'd you say,
26 years?
I do remember, I know it was a long time ago, however, I do remember going to Vineland.
Yes.
But it does seem like forever that it had been, that Absegami had it, but 26 years.
And ironically, had it gone back to Absegami this year, well, we've mentioned that earlier.
I don't think we mentioned on the air, 5-hour power outage today.
Yes.
Could you imagine? I know that the crew wanted it like that.
Mike Pellegrino, the athletic director for Timber Creek, was kind of, happy that it was here and not there. Blood cleanup on the mat.
6.7 seconds left. Bojan, you're dead age, used to wrestle with blood on the mat.
Always. Just wipe it on your uniform and get at it.
Go to the second.
At this time, we get the top 4 finishers at 152 to make their way to the awards area with their coaches. Top 4, 152.
Of course, the Cumberland corner.
At this time.
Very active coach with
Davis.
Carmine Davis.
Drew Fisher and Joe Malcurie.
And
Wow.
St. Augustine prep corner. Oh my. Oh my. If he steps over, great job by
Elliott.
to battle out of that, because that was curtains there.
8-3, 8-4. Another takedown.
Another takedown, but he's not going to gain back points because they're too far out of bounds. But that makes it 10-4. Nice shot of the crowd in the background. A lot of people here tonight.
Makes them bright with the white walls, huh, Voj?
Yes. And bright lights out here on the mat, too.
Carmine Davis.
Meticulously dressed.
Looking for some headgear, I think. We'll see another Cumberland wrestler coming up soon. We brought up the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame, Voj. One of the reasons we got to do some pretty good wrestling matches this year. You're a member of that organization. One more time, tell us about it.
A lot of activities, an annual dinner to induct anywhere from 7 to 8 inductees, former coaches, wrestlers, contributors. Have a golf tournament during the summer.
I guess in the next month or two, we'll be hearing about some new names possibly going in, right?
Yeah, the next meeting, I think, comes up next month where some names will be put out there to consider. And then, of course, the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame is also involved with the Seniors Classic. the annual war with Delaware, and that'll be held on the Wednesday after the state tournament this year at Paulsboro. And the invitations are extended to the highest placing senior in all the weight classes among regions 7 and 8. So if they all agree to wrestle, we could have an outstanding group to put on the mat this year. And of course, at the regions 7-8 dinner, 4 scholarships are given. Of course, in these hectic times and financially pressing times, any help at all is appreciated.
10-5 lead for Schroeder. Under 20 seconds left here in the second. Got to watch, he's going to get taken down 10-7, so Elliott trying to find his way back into the match.
And he's trying to get some kind of near side cradle. He didn't catch the arm, so he's in trouble here.
Got to watch he doesn't get reversed, and he doesn't. 10-7, we go into the third. So it's a 3-point match. Schroeder chooses bottom. We talked about Joe Malcurie, Voge, being, I asked you if you thought he was the best wrestler you've seen in South Jersey. You said one of the best.
One of the best. I thought Joe Duca in his career had an outstanding career at Paulsboro. You know, Joe Malcurie with 3 state championships, 99 wins in a row. Pretty tough to overlook that. And then went on to excel in the college level right away. 2-time All-American at Oklahoma, 2-time All-American at the University of Iowa.
Another guy who we saw wrestle in this tournament could have been if it wasn't for Damian Covington. And that was Pat Lynch.
Patrick Lynch. Damian Covington was just too strong for him that senior year.
Matter of fact, Damian Covington's brother, Kip Covington, prevented Matt Suter from winning 3 state championships.
That's correct.
It's like more blood time. Final match, of course, the high school season ends, Vogue, and you usually take a road trip to the Nationals, but the Nationals aren't away, Vogue. You're in Philadelphia, but I hear you're still staying away from home.
Well, you know, there's 6 sessions there, and they start early in the morning. They run quite a few hours. So if you're at a nearby...
Where you staying, right across from the stadium or the complex? Or
a couple miles down the road.
That's Paulsboro. You can get a boat, shoot right across the river. You'll be there.
Well, blame it on Howie O'Neill. And I think next year we go back to St. Louis again, which is a great venue. Not that the Wells Fargo Center won't be a great venue.
It always seems like it's in the Midwest, am I wrong? Or it just... Do they come east a lot?
No. No, we're up in Syracuse one year, or up in when Cale Sanderson won his finished his career unbeaten. We were in New York. We've been down in North Carolina, but for the most part, Oklahoma State, Iowa, Nebraska, all been hosts.
10-7. Oh, I was going to ask you if you think Elliott's going to let him go.
Yes. He already indicates to the official.
Yep. 11-7 now. Looks like 2 and maybe put Schroeder on his back. Right off the takedown.
Yep, that's what you got to hope for. Elliott trying to control the head and bring the head down to the knee. Bring the head down to the knee and can lock up a cradle and take him over. You'd get a 2 and 3 out of it. .30 seconds to go. Elliott's running out of time.
Couple seniors battling it out for a Region 8 title at 160 pounds. Adam Schroeder, St. Augustine, Robert Elliott of Cumberland. And once again, some medical attention. Now blood time accumulates, right? Right, Vogt? You get as many stoppages, up to 5 minutes?
Up to 5 minutes, yeah. Injury time is a minute and a half. But blood time can come up to 5 minutes, and then it's up to the discretion of the official.
Meaning
that
if it's over 5 minutes,
yeah,
I mean,
if it's over 5 minutes, they think they have it. If under 5 minutes, they think they have it stopped, they'll continue wrestling. And if there's more bleeding, then the official has to make the decision: is this not stoppable, and should we injury default at this point?
so at 5 minutes isn't really 5 minutes if the ref thinks they can keep it under control.
Yeah, but it very rarely does it go over the 5 minute mark.
There's a stall warning against Schroeder. He's just trying to stay away. There's a 4-point lead, and he's going to win a title at 160 pounds. Congratulations to Adam Schroeder of St. Augustine.
11-7, the final score.
Congratulations to St. Augustine Bucks, Adam Schroeder, the Region A champion at 160 pounds. A winner by decision. The score, 11-7.
Keep moving right along, Bud, which means we're going to have the award ceremony at 1:52.
152 pounds. The third place wrestler earning a trip to Atlantic City will be the number 2 seed in this tournament, Phil Bacalcus of Hamilton. He lost for that third place spot to Robert Shade. He won over Robert Shade of Timber Creek for third. Second place was Emmons of Pennsville, who lost to Rappa of Paulsboro. Rappa's third appearance in the region finals and third time's the charm.
Okay, 171 pounds. Steve Swayze is senior, 26-3 from Washington Township High School, and Matt Cosgrove, a senior, 31-6 from Paulsboro High School.
Matt Cosgrove, the number 1 seed, got to this point with a 3-1 win over Nick Elmer of Pennsgrove with a very late takedown. He won 6-1 in overtime over Andrew Hughes of Clearview, kind of a familiar opponent. Swayze got to this point as a number 2 seed with a 135 fall over Chris Lale of Kingsway, and then a 2-1 win over Alex Gong of Absegami. Gong came back and beat Hughes of Clearview 3-1 for third place and earned a trip to Atlantic City.
Cosgrove with 92 wins in his career, 97 for Swayze, so still has that outside shot at 100.
You know, I don't know if anybody worked harder in the offseason than Matt Cosgrove. It seemed like he was out wrestling almost every weekend all summer long. He and Anthony Dawson, you got Gentile involved in some summer wrestling, and that's what you have to do nowadays. There is no easy way to become better. Takes a lot of dedication.
Swayze, another 2-sport athlete, plays football for the Minutemen.
And of course, as we mentioned earlier, Washington Township under a new head coach this year, and Ron Ippolite, former heavyweight champion for Highland under Ralph Ross Sr.
Swayze's 3 losses coming from wrestlers from Raritan, Seneca, and Lenape.
No score after the first period, which is not unusual for a Cosgrove match at this level of competition.
Started at 112, we're at 171. 1 pin so far.
Yep. And when you get to this level, the first point scored is very meaningful, because if it goes overtime, it goes to that ultimate tiebreaker whoever scored the first point has choice of taking top or bottom. So if it's 0-0, you want to try and not give up the first point, which Cosgrove just did on an escape. He trails 1-0. Tom Reynolds is official in charge on the mat. Al Maloney, the assistant.
We need the top 4 finishers at 160 to make your way.
We have an injury or
coaches at this time,
blood?
Top 4 160, please.
Blood time. When the official out there points to his nose, it means blood time.
It means blood on the hand. That's what I always thought it meant. Budge, what are you going to do after this match? I won't be picking on you anymore.
I'll stay in touch with you.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Not that far away. Couple towns away. Long day. What time did you get over here?
We got over here this morning about, I guess, 8:30.
Oh, that's about the same time I got in. So wait, I got here 9:30. Sorry,
Yeah.
Big difference.
You have an hour of more rest than me. We stayed over last night in the Holiday Inn down the road. Cosgrove in on a single. Got to lift that leg up high. Try and lift that leg. Keep lifting. Got to get him going in motion the other way. There it is. Oh, my.
Nothing.
Oh, my.
Almost had it.
Never had complete control going out of bounds.
Nice job by Swayze fighting that one off.
You have to, yeah. So I say, when you see that out of bounds coming up, you got to keep fighting. Got to know where you are and how to get out of trouble. Of course, the mass of media here tonight, along with some bout-by-bout blogging.
Here we go, Voj. Here's Cosgrove. Couldn't quite finish the takedown.
No, see, he's trying to move up. You got to get both legs before he gets out of bounds. And by the time he gets that second leg, his knees are completely out of bounds and he doesn't have control yet. And of course, every point is crucial at this juncture. So everybody goes out there and they don't want to make a mistake.
And we go to the third. Cosgrove probably, I would assume, chooses the bottom here.
Has to. Swayze barring that arm. If he bars that arm, it's going to prevent Cosgrove from trying to get up off the bottom. It was not a very good explosive effort off the bottom that time. And he's got to make a move. If he just lays there, he's going to get warned for stalling. Stalemate's called first because neither wrestler was making much progress. Cosgrove trying to get up to his feet. He's got to get hand control. Almost got away. Almost doesn't count. Got to get a stall call there. That's a stall. Guy goes on a single leg like that and holds on. You got to give a stall warning.
Another stalemate, 1:10 left. 1-0 lead, Swayze.
Swayze doing a great job of keeping control on top. riding parallel. He's got to get some kind of a pinning combination in. There's a stall warning on Swayze. Can't ride parallel. That's what's going to happen.
And we'll have a fresh start. 54.7 seconds left.
Cosgrove down by a point.
And that's stall warning. He's going to force Swayze to come up on that leg.
It's a stall right there.
There's the escape. We're tied at 1.
45 seconds to go. Now, we saw Cosgrove earlier in this tournament go into the last 10, 12 seconds of a bout with a 1-1 tie and get a takedown to win it. Swayze has a pretty good defense so far, but if he doesn't take a shot, you could hit him for stalling. Because Cosgrove has to initiate that by taking a shot. Tries to spin around. Got to be careful.
Got 8 seconds to finish it off. Can he finish
There's
it, Coach?
2 right there.
He got it with
There's
3.9 seconds left. Big takedown, Matt Cosgrove.
Never gave up on that move. That's what got the 2 points. Kept after the legs, got control as they were going out of bounds, and he's going to cut his man free.
Just stay away, and he'll win. Final score 3-2. Matt Cosgrove wins the region title at 171. Very, very tight match. And went down to the end.
Duplicating what he did earlier in the tournament. Getting a late takedown to win it.
Take a look, Boj.
Here it is here. Watch him spin around behind.
I think there's about 12 seconds when its move started.
Right there. He's got the right ankle. He's got the left ankle as they go out of bounds. His toes are still in. As he's drug out of bounds, there's the takedown.
And the coaches right there. You see Marina and Duca in the background. Gonna have an award ceremony at 160, I think.
160 pounds. Third place was Anthony Dawson of Paulsboro by way of a 6-0 win over Connor Donahue of Clearview in a District 29 rematch for third place. Second place was Robert Elliott of Cumberland, and the champion, Adam Schroeder, the number 4 seed of St. Augustine Prep.
Okay, we get ready for 189 pounds.
And that's Paulsboro's second champion.
We have Eric Hensel of Buna, senior, 33-3 this year. And the junior from Paulsboro, Eric McMullen, 31-3.
189 pounds. Hensel from Buna Regional was the number 5 seed. He won 11-2 over Bill Chiaffi of Pittman, and then he won 4-3 over the top seed, David Williams of Hamilton. Eric McMullen having another real strong tournament like he did in the districts, 15-3 over Tyler Coleman of Pennsville, and 7-3 over Brian Dubzanski, the impressive freshman from Delsey. McMullen's at his best here is when he drives for a double legs. He's got good speed. Has to utilize it.
I think his big confidence win was that Stack match against Haddonfield in the dual meet back in January, votes where Stack came in unbeaten.
Yes. In fact, I think the only loss Stack had going into the regionals.
Until Flacco beat him, actually in the district final.
District, that's right.
Something in his eye, got poked in the eye, contact, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was defenseless there. The injury clock is starting.
The impressive thing about McMullen, I know we mentioned this last week during the districts, the fact that he was 14 and 21. I think he was like a 40, 45 pounder, wasn't he, Voge,
As a freshman, yes.
And then missed all of last year due to a football injury, and then to come back this year at 189.
And has wrestled 215 for the team on occasion. He's going to be a force on the football field next fall.
Nice showing by Buna also in this tournament, Voge. And they had a nice win in Group 2, beating West Effort, and then had a tight match against Delsey before losing in the South Jersey final.
Here's where McMullen's at his best. Utilize the speed. He's not going to get that, though. Out of bounds they go. Got 30 seconds to go in the opening period. Takedown in this period would be huge for either wrestler. Waning seconds of the first period, and we're going to end up 0-0 after one.
Reminder to the top 4 finishers at 171. Please make your way to the awards area at this time.
Hensel gets the flip, takes the defensive or down position. Again, first point scored is huge. If you go into overtime, get to the ultimate tiebreaker.
There's the point.
3-second escape for Hensel. Now McMullen has to think about seriously going after a takedown. Hensel grabbing that right wrist. It's one thing you don't want when you're on your feet. You don't want your wrist tied up.
What's McMullen's strength? Is it his speed? Is it his power?
Speed and agility. He's a very good linebacker on the football team, and a lot of his matches this year, he's gotten in on good double leg takedowns because of his speed to get there. He's got good upper body strength usually. Oh my, there's two. Again, the upper body takes his man down and gets the takedown.
2-1 lead.
But McMullen's not one to hold the guy on the mat real long if he doesn't have to. Minute and 12 left in this period. I don't think you'll see McMullen ride for a minute and 12.
Hensel, by the way, first team All-Cape in football.
Escape for Hensel, ties it up 2-2. When you get to these tournaments, you don't want to leave anything on the mat. And you certainly don't want to turn around and look at the clock and turn your back to your opponent either. And of course, every step of the way it gets harder and harder because there's certainly no guppies this far upstream.
That's what I heard.
Every opponent has the credentials to be a champion. Double underhook for Hensel.
McMullen will have his choice starting the third period. You would assume he's going to take bottom.
I would certainly think so.
Tied at 2 as we go to the third.
And if he escapes, he's going to be battling takedown attempts by Hensel the rest of the match. And when you want to be careful on here, if the man breaks you down, you want to get back to your base as quickly as you can, because you can be tilted and give up a cheap 2 points. First start was a false start for McMullen. Got to battle up off the bottom. If you lay there with your head on the mat, you're just looking to be called for stalling. So you got to push up and you got to go. That's the push up. Now he's got to move. Stalemate. This is where he has to explode off the bottom. Hensel doing a great job of moving up and staying in control. Again, got his man flat on the mat. The bottom man has to push up. Hensel doing a great job of barring that arm, that left arm. Not giving McMullen the opportunity to get that arm out to push up with. Stalemate.
Very impressed by Hensel, Vogt.
Very impressive.
You look at the seed. Nice job by Hensel, just bringing
staying
McMullen right back
him.
down. Yep.
Showing his football skills. All-star in the Cape Atlantic League.
Yep.
Showed it there. 49.1 seconds. I get wrist control, hand control here before Hensel can do that. If you come up off the bottom and you go for wrist control, you have to get those hands separated right away, or you give the top man the opportunity to lock in on you, pick you up, and take you back to the mat. Again, he tries to come up off the mat. Now he goes for a switch.
Big reversal.
Big reversal.
4-2 lead McMullen.
And I think you're not going to see him hold him here for the whole period. He's going to cut him loose and then defend against a takedown attempt. And of course, with no stalling warnings yet, he can afford to do that until the first stalling warning is given. Then he can't run. I'll cut him loose. There's a stalling warning. Gotta remember, when the opponent gets to his feet, if you don't bring him back to the mat within about 5 seconds, you're just risking getting called for stalling.
That's what he's got to do, just bring him right back down. 5 seconds left. And Paulsboro wins their third region title tonight.
Good job by McMullen. Tough battle against a worthy opponent.
Big reversal late in the third period with the win.
Wow.
Top four finishers at 171 pounds.
Also, it's coming up big, Vogt. I remember early in the year talking about they really don't have anybody that jumps out at you about winning a region title, and then all of a sudden they have 3.
Yeah, well, our conversation went just that way. Can they keep that streak going? And they have tripled that tonight. 171-pound medalist. Third place was Alex Gong of Absegami, who won 3-1 over Hughes of Clearview. Second place at 171 was Stephen Swayze of Washington Township, and the winner, the number 1 seed in the battle between number 1 and number 2, Matt Cosgrove, senior from Paulsboro, with a 3-2 win.
A senior from Paulsboro, Matthew Cosgrove.
And we look at Matt Cosgrove.
Congratulations.
Why don't you give us what's coming up at 215, Vogt? Just trying to go through some of this.
215 pounds, the number 1 seed, Kevin Stadtmuller of Absegami, has a 30-3 record. He'll be opposed by the number 2 seed, Dan Garwood of Clearview, who will enter with a 35-1 record.
Of course, Garwood we saw last week win a District 29 championship.
And Stadtmuller won the championship in District 32. So you have a pair of district champions going at each other.
'90 career wins for Stadtmuller. Garwood, a senior. Freshman year, Vogt, 4 wins, 9 losses, and just turned it around after that. And then this year, capping it off 35-1 as we go into the final. His only loss was to Baumgartner of St. Augustine.
And that was probably upper weight.
We're going to look at that as you.
Yeah, I think it might have been upper weight because Baumgartner was the heavyweight for St. Augustine. The official in control on the mat.
And they did wrestle heavyweight, Vogt. Baumgartner winning 3-0 in that match.
Stadtmuller took a couple of wild swings out there, and Mike Williams stepped right in and told him it's a wrestling match, not a boxing match. Oh my. Oh my.
Garwood trying to spin around. Can he get free? No.
Wow. Very close. Zero after 1. Stadtmuller takes what everyone should take, and that's the bottom position. Once again, our sincerest thanks to Athletic Director Mike Pellegrino, Site Supervisor Shane Chisholm, and the constant attention given by Joe Dilks and Mike Chiazza. Mike Chiazza, the head wrestling coach at Egg Harbor Township. Beautiful facility and great hosts.
Wow.
Garwood picks his man up, brings him back safely to the mat. Once again, Garwood fighting off the attempt to come off the bottom by Stadtmuller.
Coach, I can see that whole Clearview area as a big sleeping giant.
Yes.
What do you think?
I agree, and they have a coach now with collegiate coaching experience as well. And you saw some of the, in the district tournament, some of the assistant coaches on the bench,
Right.
like Tomasetti. You saw
Cartella.
Cartella,
Yeah.
Eisenhart.
Got a little blood time.
Yep.
Shocker.
Yeah. So
And they have 3 pretty good wrestlers coming back too, in Kernew, Van Brill, Donahue.
there you see new Absegami head coach
Sean Scannell.
Sean Scannell, longtime assistant to Gene Barber.
That's Scott Roche.
Scott Resch.
Resch.
Who wrestled for Gene Barber at Absegami.
Not too long ago.
Yep. And the head coach we mentioned from Clearview,
Moreland.
Keith Moreland.
That looks like Eisenhart in the corner there. I'm just going by the weights.
Yeah, Thomas A is a little bit smaller than that.
Right, and Cartella's in between.
Yeah. Keith Moreland was an All-American at Iowa and a former NCAA place winner. Coach at Virginia Tech for a couple of years. He's doing a lot of shuffling of papers.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of papers here. It's like we didn't even get a chance to talk about Doug Castellari of Buna when he was out there.
Yeah.
There's a guy that's won multiple South Jersey Group 2 championships as a coach.
Yep. And was a good wrestler in his own right in high school. Went to Rutgers University.
Garwood in control here in the second period. On top, I should say, not in control.
Yeah.
He's in control on top. We're scoreless.
Well, that's impressive with the caliber that Statmuller is, that Garwood has kept him on the mat for a minute and a half. Statmuller up to his feet, trying to get away. Garwood, the perfect answer. Like the perfect storm for Statmuller. Can't solve Garwood.
And you don't want to let up an escape here in the last 10 seconds after you've done such a great job. If you're Garwood.
9.1 seconds to keep him down for the whole period. More blood time.
This might be a record for blood time, I think. Also, while we're here, I'd like to thank thank Gloucester County College, another one of our, I'll say sponsors, make it possible for us to be here. Start smart, go far, Voj. That's the motto at Gloucester County College.
Pretty impressive commercials they put out there too. South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame, of course, another sponsor.
Which you are a member, you're in that South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame. Voj, how many Hall of Fames are you in?
South Jersey one, the national one, the Gloucester County, the Camden County, the Paulsboro, a few.
Don't brag. Of course, I asked you, right?
Nice job by Garwood.
Absolutely.
Oh, brother.
Go to the third period.
0-0. How many times have we seen that tonight? None.
That is correct. Not going into the third.
And you see what Statmuller just did. He's going to try and ride Garwood. He said, let's start on our feet. I'll take my chances of getting a takedown. Of course, next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll be spending a boardwalk hall in Atlantic City.
Who's we? I haven't decided if I'm going to make that trip yet.
Well, I thought you might show up.
I might. Last time I came, I told my wife to go shopping at the pier.
It cost you an arm and a leg, huh?
Oh, my God. Then I had to take her out for dinner afterwards.
Well, boardwalk hall just means you're going to see the best of the best of the best.
Absolutely, and we have a chance of seeing a 4-time state champion.
Yes.
Andrew Campolitano. One loss, Voj, and that was out of state.
Yes. Campolitano would only be, I believe, the second in state history.
That is correct. Mike Ray, there's a stall warning against Garwood. He's got to watch now.
Yeah, Statmuller being the aggressor, but Garwood goes
takes
in
the
on
shot.
the legs and
Big
he gets the
takedown. Big takedown.
Wow.
3-0. How about that? Gets the stall warning. Sometimes that'll wake you up, force you to be aggressive.
Well, that's the key. When you get a stalling warning in a very close match and you're on your feet, you have to initiate aggressiveness out there. You have to at least make it look like you're going for a takedown.
That gives Garwood a little wiggle room also.
Yes.
Could give up the escape, get called for a stall, and still have a 1-point lead. Sure, he'd rather just stay on top for the next 29 seconds, and you know what? He's already shown that he can do it.
Oh yeah, we rode the whole first the two minutes in the second period.
Plus, he gets a point riding time, right? Oh, that's just joking. Remember those days?
Oh yes. Yeah, point for a minute and 2 points for 2 minutes or above.
I didn't know that.
Yes. College, of course, it's 1 minute riding time or 1 point riding time. We're bleeding again.
Yep. Still just stick something up in that nose.
And of course, as we mentioned earlier, 3 really good trainers here today taking care of Region 8. Q Lee of Egg Harbor Township, the head athletic trainer there since 2006, was at St. Joseph's High School.
And we did talk about them, but earlier today, Votes, before the matches start, Paul Marino was named a Region 8 Coach of the Year.
Yeah, there he is, and you see the other ones out there with him. Greg Sawyer and Doug Castellari and
Sean Scannell.
John
and
Marinelli.
Moriello, I think, from Hamilton.
Right? John Marinelli, the Region 8 president, presenting
Look, you're
Paul
saying,
with the...
I think we spelled your name, Paul. Here, spell it wrong. No, I'm just joking. He didn't say that.
Well, you know...
It's probably the first plaque or trophy Paul Marino's ever won. I think he's got more plaques and trophies than you have Hall of Fames.
That's true.
Look at this. There is blood all over the place.
Yeah. Well, you know, it certainly has been a storybook year for Paulsboro, especially with... There were so many questions at the beginning of the year. You and I had talked about that before. Not having a full 14-man lineup. There was no 215-pounder. They had to juggle, and you know, you saw one of the most courageous performances by Ryan Dick, a senior who was a 71-pounder, wrestled, you see the escape.
And it's 3-1. Final scores of Dan Garwood. District 29 votes 4 for 4 in the finals, though. Garwood, a District 29 champ last week, a Region 8 champ this week. We'll have the presentation of the awards at 189, and you'll run through that list for us.
189 pounds. The third place medalist at 189 was Raheem Hughes of Timber Creek, a senior. He won overtime 10-8 in a sudden victory over very impressive wrestler from Delsey, Brian Dobzhansky. Second place went to the number 5 seed, Eric Hensel of Abuna, and the champion, Paulsboro's third in the Region 8 final round, junior Eric McMullen of Paulsboro with a 4-2 win. And I saw him walk by a little earlier with an ice pack on his side. He could have got some injured ribs out there.
Heavyweight, Vogue, and it's not the last match of the evening, or we'll be ending with 103 this time. We have Trent Hampton of Pennsville, Stephen Paul of Cumberland.
Stephen Paul of Cumberland was the number 4 seed. He had a 4-2 win over a wrestler from Buna, Ahmad Zadaya. He had a 534 fall over Josh Hitchner of Woodstown, and he won by injury default over Nicky Curl of Paulsboro in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And that put that ended Curl's career on a scholastic level because he could not continue in the tournament. Trent Hampton, the number 3 seed in the tournament from Pennsville, only 1 loss this year. He won 6-1 over Andrew Baumgartner of St. Augustine, and then he won 3-1 in overtime over Steve Schwartz of Absegami. Schwartz come back and won in overtime on a tiebreaker to finish third in the tournament over Rementer of Clayton.
Hampton 1 loss this year. That was to Rementer of Clayton.
And a lot of people were asking how the 285-pound weight class was seeded and how Curl ended up number 1. There were a couple of round robins in there where A beat B and B beat C and C beat A. And when you get round robins, you have to throw all those matches out, because if you tried to argue it, you'd never come to a conclusion. And I think at 285, there were 2 sets of round robins in that weight class.
Hampton also on the golf team and football team. Paul, football and wrestling, 29-7 this year. Already has a loss to Hampton this year. We'll go to the second, no score.
At this time, the top 4 finishers.
Hampton gets the choice of position and takes the bottom.
Top 4 at 215 with your coach.
Last year as a junior, Hampton lost in the opening round, 1-0 in this tournament. Stephen Paul wrestled Tom Rementer and lost by fall last year in this tournament.
So they're
First round.
veterans. Been here and done that.
Matter of fact, 3rd place in this tournament last year, Vogue at heavyweight. What do you think?
Who was 3rd?
Dan Garwood, our 215-pound champ. Remember last year he wrestled heavyweight.
Yep. And when you're not a big kid like that, he wrestled 215, so obviously he wasn't in that 270, 280 category last year. It's a smart move, dropping to 215 this year. It helped him win a championship.
Don't see many 10-8 heavyweight matches, do you, Vogue?
No. No.
Do we have an over-under on trips by the medical staff out to the center of the mat?
Never seen so much bleeding in a tournament as we have in this one.
You look around this gym and the some of the names. I don't know if you're too familiar with basketball, but Shea Matlock. Well, this school's only been here since the early to mid 80s. I think they used to go to Absegami or Oakcrest or something like that back in the day. But it is big.
Well, Egg Harbor Township has no affiliation whatsoever with Oakcrest and Absegami, which I didn't know until I asked that question. Egg Harbor City used to have its own high school. Heck, because when I went to college some years ago, one of my classmates was a football player who had come out of Egg Harbor City High School. I never heard of him until I met him in class.
Hampton trying to get that takedown.
Oh, nice
job
move by Paul to stay out of trouble, yeah.
Looked like he did that in the semifinals a couple times with Curl. Looked like he was in trouble and fought his way out of it, and you saw it again there.
Yeah, and Curl, who tweaked his knee in the district final, remember that?
Yes.
Was showing no signs of it the other night, but today he was showing signs of it, and I think he tried to get the match over early with Paul and went for a couple takedowns and landed on his knee, and pretty soon that was it. Start to the 3rd period here, still 1-0, Trent Hampton.
I think we had it reversed on our scoreboard. So Hampton with the 1-0 lead.
Oh my. Oh my. Trying to wrap that arm around. If he brings the arm around, he's going to turn Paul's back to the mat. But if he doesn't do something soon, he's going to get called for a stalemate. Got an injury time. or blood time. Place is starting to empty out, Mondelli.
Well, you know, fortunately for the crowd, I mean, there's a lot of Paulsboro people here, and it ends with a Paulsboro wrestler, so it won't be that empty. To keep the St. Augustine and Paulsboro crowd here. At the end of a long week. Whereas the tournament was supposed to start on Tuesday, but some of these Atlantic County schools were snowed out, so they moved the tournament to Wednesday. Didn't make much of a difference. But how did that do? Did they change any weight allocations or anything like that with the extra day?
Got an extra pound allowance. Because some schools were closed on Monday, forcing the postponement from Tuesday. Some schools were closed on Tuesday, including this school. So when that happens, the fairest thing is to give an extra pound allowance. So the tournament actually got underway a day late on Wednesday, which forced the seeding meeting to Thursday morning instead of Wednesday morning. And that was, a seeding meeting after the selection of the Region 8 top 10 to be presented on Sunday at the state. For
Most
number
people-
one, the state.
Which I believe will be High Point.
Should be.
Minute 30 to wrestle, 1-0 lead, Hampton.
Uh-oh, there's an escape.
And we're tied at 1-1.
I think when Paulsboro wrestled Pennsville in the group final,
Semifinal.
semifinal, I'm sorry. I think when Hampton wrestled Curl, he ended up with a pin because they both bear hugged each other. And when both guys have the bear hug on, it's whoever can trip who the first and fastest. And then you fall to the mat.
Right.
And survival is not easy.
This one's destined for overtime, but you never know. 30 seconds left.
Well, Cosgrove got one late.
Ball trying to take a shot, going to run out of room. We go back to the center, 22 seconds left. 1-1.
But I think you're going to be accurate. We will see overtime.
Remember Hampton with the first points if it gets that far.
Yes. In overtime, the first period of overtime is a 1-minute sudden victory period. That means if anybody scores a point in that period, they automatically win. If it's tied after 1 minute, they go to 2 30-second tiebreaker periods in which wrestling will continue even if somebody gets a point or points in that period. And both periods are accumulative as far as scoring is concerned. If it's still tied after that, then you go to the 30-second ultimate tiebreaker.
Hampton looks like he took the shot. Look out.
Oh
he's
my, oh my.
Nice job.
Oh
Paul
my.
can spin around, he got it. How about that?
Oh, brother.
How about that? The 4 seed, Stephen Paul of Cumberland, with the region title, a 3-1 win in overtime.
And that's called sudden victory.
And we get ready for 103, but we're going to have the awards presentation at 2:15 before we do that.
215 pounds. The third place finisher was Roy Lucas of St. Joe's of Hamilton. he with a 251 fall over the number 4 seed, Pearson, Lucas Pearson of Ocean City. Second place at 215 went to the number 1 seed, Kevin Statmuller of Absegami, and the champion, number 2 seed, Dan Garwood of Clearview with a 3-1 win.
And we get ready for 103 pounds votes from St. Augustine, Tom Gattinella. And from Paulsboro, John Gentile.
Gattinella, the number 1 seed, 28-5 at this point. He had 144 fall over Bucaroni of Triton, Chris Bucaroni. He had a 16-1 technical fall in 402 over Jesse Swope of Delsey. Gentile got to this point as the number 2 seed with a 16-3 win over Thomas Moss of Williamstown and a 7-3 win over Zach Valcarce of Lower Cape May.
Gentile with 5 losses this year. Won the Roselle Park, a couple out of state, but 2 to Gattinella, 5-2 and 7-5. Gattinella with 6 losses. A couple of them, I think, came when he was wrestling 112 pounds, Voj. And we get started right away. Final match of the evening.
Tom Reynolds, the official in charge of the match, and Al Maloney, the assistant. Well, third time this year the two have wrestled. As you mentioned, 2 decision wins by Gattinella, one in the Mustang Classic up at Brick, and the other in a dual meet.
The matchup at Brick was a 5-2 win. Dual meet 7-5.
Pretty much a stalemate.
There's a stalemate. 1 minute in, no score.
Oh my. Gentile trying to rush that move. Gattinella blocking it.
Trying to get that one leg free, and he can get a takedown. He got the takedown, so 2-0 lead for Gentile. Gattinella last year wrestled 103 in Region 8, got through the first round before losing in the second round. But had a nice season, won 29 matches, I think, last year. 31 matches, actually.
And Gentile, of course, is a backup, a JV wrestler last year as a freshman.
0-3 last year, Voj.
Yep.
Got his first varsity wins this season.
And has a 2-0 lead after 1 period. This match far from over. Gentile will start the second period on the bottom. Gentile being encouraged from the stands to keep his head up, because if you keep your head down, somebody of Gattinella's height can get a tilt or a cradle. So you have to move.
Gentile trying to pop that head out, get 1, maybe 2, but see Gattinella just pushing down on that head.
Yep.
Getting back into control.
And trying to expose the back to the mat. If he exposes the back, it'll start a near fall count. Gentile trying to throw his hips out.
Gotta get that head out. Can he pop his head?
Grab the ankle. He can spin behind, get 2 points. Got to free his arm.
There he got it. Wow, there's a reversal.
Wow.
4-0 lead.
Wow. Persistence.
Absolutely. Here's,
Persistence.
even though he was a heavy favorite going to that final match against Haddonfield, Vogue. You know, it all went down to him, and he just went out there and did the job and clinched the match. Got to watch out now.
Gattinella trying to reach back.
14 seconds left in the second.
Gentile trying to peel the hand off the head.
He doesn't want to give up any points here late, and he's going to give up probably one. And he
There
does.
it is.
6.6 seconds left. It's 4-1. And Gattinella will have his choice as we go into the third. He trails 4-1.
Final match of the evening.
And we're just going to stay up here and wrap it from here, Vogue, after the presentations at heavyweight and 103. That's more information for the truck,
Yes.
by the way.
And, you know, Gentile holding a 4-1 lead right now. We're in the third period.
Got to watch.
Yep. But should he hold on and win, you're talking 4 champions for Paulsboro and 4 champions for Timber Creek.
Yep.
Both batting 1,000 in the finals.
Plenty to go here, though. Minute 16 left.
Yep. Gentile doing a great job of countering every move Gattinella's throwing at him. Under a minute to go. Got to watch his weight. He don't want to get high. Brings Gattinella back to the mat. Victory is within sight. Gentile doing a great job of control. Wow.
Well, we saw it earlier, Vogue, where Dawson had beaten Schroeder of St. Augustine twice during the year and lost today. And Paulsboro trying to get a little revenge. We might have some back points.
Oh, my.
No. But how about that? Gentile's going to win. Paulsboro 4 for 4 in the region finals. Paulsboro and Timber Creek both winning 4 titles.
Amazing.
How about that? Paulsboro just seemed to peak as the year went on this year.
They got stronger and stronger down the stretch. Stronger and stronger.
We're going to have the awards presentation. Vogue at heavyweight and 103, and then we'll wrap things up. But why don't you run through the
285, the third place medalist going to Atlantic City is Stephen Schwartz of Absegami, won by a 5-3 tiebreaker over Tom Rementer of Clayton. Second place in the 285-pound weight class was Trent Hampton of Pennsville, and the winner in overtime by a 3-1 sudden victory score, Stephen Paul of Cumberland.
And we'll take a look at the awards presentation right there at heavyweight. And I tell you what, Cumberland, Stephen Paul did a nice job, huh, Vogue?
Excellent job. Excellent job.
And we see the heavyweights
up on the podium.
And we're going to have the 103-pounders coming up soon. There's Paul getting it.
I was going to say, they don't look like 3-pounders to me.
That's about 3-pounders coming up soon. Like the coaches giving the awards out too, Vogue.
Yes, classy.
Maybe we'll do that at districts.
There you go.
There we see Dean Duca, the assistant at Paulsboro, in our shot as we get ready for 103.
Kind of a storybook year.
I mean, if you think, you would assume that, you have your two top teams in South Jersey wrestling in this tournament. Both teams had 4 guys in the finals, and both will come out with 4 championships. For Timber Creek, they did it early.
Yes, they did it early with the 12-pounder, the 25-pounder, 35 and 40. Carter, Keller, Birmingham, and Shade.
And then Paulsboro starting at 52.
And Paulsboro starting at 52 with Rappa, Cosgrove at 71, McMullen at 89, and anchoring the group.
Yeah, you don't
even
usually
though
anchor. You don't usually anchor at
normally
103.
goes first.
Yeah.
Was last, and that was Johnny Gentile with a victory at 103. So 4 champions for each team.
Why don't you run through the place? Let's run through the place winners there, Vogue.
Okay, third place, Zach Valcarce of Lower Cape May was third. Second place was Tom Gettinella of St. Augustine. And the champion from Paulsboro was Johnny Gentile.
We'll take a look at Gentile. Once again, like to thank the South Jersey Wrestling Hall of Fame, Gloucester County College, for making our wrestling season possible. John Gentile receives his trophy at 103 for John Vogening and the entire crew. I'm John Mondelli. We'll see you next time on the Gloucester County Educational Network.